The MCU Phase 4 movies are announced, and what will this mean for the contest? There is a backlash over the Summoner Showdown, and Cull Obsidian was broken, fixed, and now nerfed? Yes, hello and welcome to the 22nd of July edition of Marvel Contest of Champions news. And we've got all your sensationalist bullshit gossip that's going on in the community. There's not a huge amount, but the stories that we do have are very darn important. And just before getting into today's stories, could you please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button if you are indeed new to the channel. Thank you, and let's roll these mother flipping stories. Our stories begin with the massive news that the Phase 4 of the MCU has been announced. There's some, well, obvious ones that we knew what we were getting, some shock ones, and some that we're a little undecided about. Me personally, I'm a little annoyed that we aren't seeing anything to do with Ant-Man, a Disney Plus series, or a third film. But something a lot of Marvel fans knew for a good while is that Taika Waititi, I don't know if I can even say the name properly, went to visit Marvel several months ago to say, like, you know, we've got an idea for Thor 4. And this was obviously announced at San Diego Comic-Con as being Thor Love and Thunder. But obviously there is a twist, and this will be very much focused on Jane Foster, and this kind of Jane Foster Thor, which obviously we have in game. This then led me to post something on Twitter. By the way, you should all follow me on Twitter. But the bleeding obvious, and the bleeding obvious is that more than likely when it comes to the eventual release of the film, if MCOC is still going, that the fact is we would not have a buffed version of Jane Foster. Instead, more than likely we would see us getting a movie version. Without going too much off on a tangent, because I'm saving it for a future video, I do want to address the extent of how many movie versions of characters that we have in game against, say, the non-movie version, or versions that have only been put in game, being those of the movie suits, costumes, or appearance. San Diego Comic-Con also brought up several surprises like mutants being talked about and the Fantastic Four. Those were talked about, but nothing really confirmed. The one thing that was confirmed, which is a complete surprise and a positive yet slightly critical shock, was that Blade is going to be getting a film, and it is going to be represented by Mahershala Ali. Now, I have nothing against the actor, I just like an idea that I came up with of Wesley Snipes' Blade version spending years in hiding. If you watch Blade Trinity, you'll know that he survived. So, what could he be doing for all these years? Have vampires really been wiped out since then? If the answer was no, then they could be harvesting blood based on the stuff that happened in Infinity War. Populations dying, they're exploiting the situation by stealing blood, harvesting, at the same time trying to transfer the vampire virus to more people. And it comes to a point where Blade comes out of hiding to then try and stop stuff. I just kind of like the idea of like an older type of Blade being able to come back into it. But I'm sure they will do an absolute solid with this, so we are looking forward to it. I digress. Where does this leave us with the MCU Phase 4 and Marvel Contest of Champions? There are going to be pluses and minuses to this. Very much a case will be focused towards the TV stuff that's going to be happening, and as well stuff with the movies. Shang-Chi is cool, we do need more representation, and I think that this is going to really push this in new ways. Sam Wilson version of Captain America, I do think that is a possibility for the future, and I would welcome it. But there are going to be a few obscure ones that start really coming in, and their design may be too much towards the TV series as well as not going towards the comic book kind of look that maybe a lot of us would like to see. But at the same time, I know that Kabam have to get in new players, and players playing stuff they've seen on the TV and screen may be the way that they go with this. There are a few other ones as well. Doctor Strange, further villains being expanded to that. I wouldn't like to see a new version of Doctor Strange unless they were looking to take the old Doctor Strange that they had in game and make him a lot better. Maybe returning back to his old form, buff him a little bit, those kind of things. But there's a lot of films on offer. I don't know if the Eternals will be something to go down the route of, but still, this is quite exciting for the MCU, Marvel fans, and also to be an MCOC player. Maybe not so much when it comes to seeing movie versions, but we'll see what they've got for us. In other news, and people feel a little bit negatively towards the Summoner Showdown. And I think it's very much towards the tournament being very much content creators or key people in the community. Now, there are good things to this and also bad things. The positive and negative side of things can be really centered around the fact that Unfortunately, it is not you. It's not the kind of Joe Blogs, Joe Public, John Doe out there. It is just a case these people are content contributors or very good players, because Brutal DLX, he only has a Twitter account and he is not a YouTuber. But the fact is, it is quite annoying for people not to see a tournament where they, the player, can really join in. And I think that would be a good idea for the future, to do a tournament or do a battle of some kind. Have a special battle that is either number 1 with a specific timer, number 2 with a set amount of champions to use, and the third thing being, well, it's tested against how much damage you do or how much damage you don't take based on your evading abilities, intercepting abilities, those kind of things. And that is the platform to then go, right, well, you're in the semi-finals, you're in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then you're in the final by doing that. You're in rounds. Similar to Wimbledon, like a tennis tournament, where you get to a certain point, oh, you reached round 15, you get to have a free 5-star crystal. Those kind of things I think would be really good for the future. Now, I'm not Kabam, but I think that they should really look towards something like this so everyone can participate in the future. Now, I won't be choosing to read any much more of this forum post because, well, let's face it, there's a lot of negativity in this, a bit of toxicity, which I'm not down for, and I'm certainly not going to share Marvel Contest of Champions news. So we salute and move on to the next story. Okay, and now on to one of our more important stories, and that is Cull Obsidian is, or was, fixed, but wasn't fixed, but is too overpowered. Yeah, there's a lot to this, so we'll try and get you up to speed and at the same time go with what has been decided. Now, over the last couple of days, I've seen plenty of posts that have looked at newer champions, in particular centered around Cull Obsidian. And Cull Obsidian, as you know, since being added in, was able to damage output a huge amount. And do bear in mind, as part of the content contributor program, we have these champions, we make videos, we try and test them out to their full potential. And obviously, what can we do? Do we not record a video and then post it if the champion is outputting a huge amount of damage, even as a 4-star? Or as we know, at the moment, we have got rank 3 5-stars at 200 signature. So what do? Do we not record it? Do we record it? Do we post it? Do we not post it? These are key things, especially to give you hype, but maybe it be unnecessary hype or overhyping something that is going to be maybe potentially nerfed. Getting back to the subject of this story, and as you can see here, this is a huge amount of damage that is being presented in this fight. Just ridiculous amounts. Anyway, quick segue to the story that we've been talking about, this Thanos favor buffs not being able to be paused and the extent of damage output. This is the kind of damage output that was prior to, say, the 28th of June, or kind of right at the start of kind of July and going into mid-July. But something indeed has felt like it's changed, and changed for the better in the last few days. Crazy amounts of these stories were pinging up on the forum, and people were going like, wow, this is insane amounts of damage, as you can obviously tell. This led to the announcement yesterday that Cull Obsidian is going to be hammered down. I mean, that's a terrible pun, but he's going to be hammered down on the extent of damage that he's outputting, and a fix would be with everyone as soon as possible. I also just want to play this clip here, which showcases an unduped version of Cull Obsidian in a matter of moments. Just absolutely, just disgustingly smashing crossbones. And this is obviously the boss in 6.1. That is just disgusting. But disgusting in a good way, but we all know that stuff like this, Kabam can't leave in the game. So this is obviously where we're up to now, that Cull Obsidian is going to be ramped down a lot. But this is only represented on whatever has been broken very recently needs to be fixed. And this is the point that everybody is going nuts towards things like rank down tickets and stuff like that. This is a very difficult one to just kind of get this opinion across to people, whether or not they feel that they are in the right, that they ranked up a champion under the expectations as what they saw to be true, against those that kind of go, well, he's too OP. I don't know where you lie on this one. Have your say in the comment section down below, or go to some of the links that take you to some of the forum posts that we looked at in this particular post. Now to more fun news, and that is arena cutoffs and results and my predictions, which are down below at the moment. Do bear in mind that some of these will change, and you should keep locked to Marvel Contest of Champions True Course for the most up-to-date results. Now, I saw a 23.6 for 5-star Miles Morales. That's 23.6 mil. Now, I do think that is going to be similar than I said last time. 25 mil will be fine. 3-star Miles Morales, I got really wrong, and I would probably say go with about 850k for that, as my 1.1 or 1.2 mil was a bit too excessive. A 6 mil cutoff for 4-star Miles Morales is likely. 5.55 mil will probably be where it would go, but if you want to put about 6 mil, 6.5 to be safe, please do. And finally, I've seen a lot of people putting in high amounts for Diablo, over 2 mil. I don't know what people are thinking with that. I don't really rate that as a thing, especially for a champion that is pretty average. I think if people want it, then that's fine. But I have seen some going for 1.8 mil. So my fingers crossed, and my hope is that he's dropped a lot lower than that, close to about 1.55 or at least 1.6 or 1.7 mil. But maybe put 1.8 mil in round 2. But check back later on to see if that indeed drops with the results with Marvel Contest Champions True Course. And that indeed has been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 22nd of July 2019. There will be no live stream tonight, as I'm going to go and watch the new Spider-Man film. Not that I'm, 20 days late, but the fact is, I'm going to do it anyway. But in any case, thanks very much for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.